5 years ago, this was just a dream and a pile of dirt. And we finally decided it was time to pursue this dream. We bought this piece of land because we wanted to build something to create financial freedom for us, to be less dependent on jobs, on the systems that run around us. So standing here now, watching actually come to life, I feel both so excited and honestly also a bit terrified, because what started as purely a financial decision has evolved into something much deeper. So in this video, I want to tell you how we got here and why we chose to build instead of buying a vacation rental, why it took us 5 years, why financing fell through, and how this now ended up being something so much bigger than we originally planned. So let's go. We first had this idea, the obvious thing was to look for something that already existed, and we did. For over a year, we looked everywhere for a place that fit our requirements, but we found out fast enough that what we wanted didn't exist. Everything we looked at felt generic and honestly ugly. Nothing was modern, nothing was intentional. Like most of the stuff we looked at, it had no soul. And after being so lucky to travel to so many countries, I didn't want to just have another bland, boring build. I want something with character. So eventually we decided that, it's so muddy here, that the better move would be to do what everybody told us not to buy land and to build from scratch with zero experience. Here was our challenge number one. Joe had just finished residency a year prior. I had quit my job. So even though we had enough cash for the down payment to do the construction loan, on paper, the bank didn't like it. We'd looked unpredictable because our businesses had less than 1 year. And we got denied, and I was just so disappointed. And the bank basically told us to come back after we had 2 years of business history. And that was so discouraging, to be honest, but that's how the system is set up, and we learned as we went. We looked at other options at the time, like hard money and more aggressive loans and creative financing. And honestly, I was not ready to take on that type of risk. I didn't have that tolerance at that point. I didn't feel confident enough. It was just Joe and I doing the research, figuring this out. We didn't have mentors, no experience in real estate or developing land. It was just us and YouTube University. So we decided to pause and go back, save more money, build more history of our businesses and income, and we waited. Now, was that a good decision? I believe that everything works in divine timing. So somewhere along this 5-year journey, this stopped just being an investment property and became Arka. Arka means light in Sanskrit, and that's what I hope to evoke with these properties and these businesses. This is a design-forward wellness property, a place where people can adventure out into the beautiful national parks around us and then come back here to recover, to slow down, to reconnect. And what started as a tax strategy and an income producing asset and financial freedom has evolved into a dream of building this hospitality brand around wellness, mindfulness, and intentional design. And to be honest, that evolution mirrors my own. It probably was the best thing to wait this long to build this, because now Truly, every corner of this place is so special. I have thought about every single experience, and there's so much love that has been poured into this. And I just really, truly can't wait for people to come experience Arka. Sovereignty and freedom are my highest values, and I hope to inspire people to build assets and build properties, build businesses, because that's how you build freedom. We live in a system that sometimes feels rigged, which is exactly why you need to learn how it works. You need to understand the rules. You can use the tax advantages that are here. You create leverage. That's what being rebellious is. I think we need to be creating as humans, building differently. This project truly is something I am so proud of. It reflects wellness, nature, connection, design, intention, and of course, freedom. It reflects so many of my values and who I have become in the last 5 years. And this channel is not about pretending I know everything. It's about documenting what actually takes, the mistakes, the delays, the money, the risk. Oh man, the lessons, so many lessons. If you ever thought about building an A-frame, unique designs, buying land, creating an income producing property that your family can use, that's what we're planning to do here. I am going to be sharing all the numbers, what we spent, what we would have done differently, how much it makes, and whether it was worth it. We're building this in public and it feels terrifying, but this is build number 1 and I'm finally ready to bring you along. So let's build.